What up, y'all? We are back for our 2024 prediction series. In today's episode, we will be taking a look ahead at the month of April. If you are curious, go over to my channel and you will find the 2024 predictions playlist, and there you will find a yearly overview. And also that video has a quarterly breakdown, and then in addition, you'll find month by month reads that go a little deeper. All right, so let's get started. I feel that there's a possibility that things are beginning to really come together this month, but there is a very mixed bag of feeling. Once we get into April, we're getting into eclipse season. So lots of heightened energies, lots of electricity in the air. And speaking of, from the wild unknown archetypes, our spiritual assignment for the month is the kiss. And so this is that tension that's building, that electricity in the air that you feel right before you come into union with the thing, the object of your desire, right? Quite literally, think about the moment that you are, in someone's gaze and you've never kissed before. And it's like there's all this tension and all this magnetism, and it's electric, right? And there's a specific tangible feeling that kind of energy has. And I think that it's also that kind of energy that gathers right before a big destiny moment comes forward, like a big plot point, big opportunity. So maybe, there's possibility for things to really come together this month in a lot of areas of your life, perhaps even romantically. There might be, a meeting of souls for, I don't know, it's possible. But either way, I think that this is about something coming together as far as like our manifestations and the dreams that we've wanted to make happen for a while. It could also be applying to a bunch of different things. I think there's a lot of layers in the energy about this month. We also have from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck to just directly speak to our process and how we're approaching this energy right now, this tension that's building. It's like this breath, it's like this inspiration, right? We are taking in the life force of the creator. There's nothing more intimate than our connection with our breath. This is like what gives us life. It keeps us sustained, right? There's something really precious and simple about it. But there is something very like the nature and the power of air and breath and something, the life being breathed into something is happening here. And, there's like in being inspired, like breathing in and taking in divine source and becoming inspired. And then our exhale is like the way that we share what has come through our consciousness, right? And what our inspiration has produced. So being inspired and sharing, and also giving space and softening into the process and allowing for adaptability and expansion and change, right? Giving the things room to breathe, giving things time for like the air to do its like oxidization work, So, maybe you're feeling like, oh my gosh, it's April. Like I'm feeling like the surge of like all this spring fire and energy, and I want to go, and I want to do everything, and I want to be everywhere. And it's like we need to actually give ourselves a little bit of space and a little bit of breathing room. And we don't need to be too overbearing with our goals and our dreams. We need to give them a little space to develop and not force anything, but to take our time and let this awakening process happen. For some reason, I just feel like there could be an opportunity that seems to present that needs our judgment and discernment, and it just needs space. Space to breathe, to percolate. Because for our tarot cards, we got 9 of Cups, which is like, oh my gosh, it just immediately, like, the first thing I drew after, the kiss, things are coming together, breathe, give it space, there's expansion, inspiration, excitement, anticipation building, dreams coming true, like your wish is coming true. So just, stay in a positive, optimistic state. We also got the Emperor, which is an Aries card. This is Aries seated in their throne of power. But at the same time, don't be too hard-headed or stubborn or rigid or like overbearing this month. Don't be too controlling. The Emperor can go overboard and be a little bit too controlling, right? Be a little hard-headed, be a little self-righteous or, high and mighty. So don't do that. But be really open to adaptability and softening your approach to your work or, the great inner work. Don't be too set in your ways, right? Be open to, being flexible and being teachable. The following card is the Devil. So while things are becoming solid and they're solidifying, every time we up level, the opponent up levels with us. So there are a lot of opportunities for us to be challenged this month of April with, stress, fear, addictions. This is probably Easter and Passover season, and Passover is about overcoming and our addictions and being freed from the slavery of our ego, right? Of the things that keep us bound. So again, we have every opportunity to overcome the opponent this month. And when we do that, it's like we open ourselves up to greater miracles, right? That's why we need to give things time to breathe, because there could be like this wish coming true. But like last month, we had to do some purging and some purification and some transformation, to alter our vibration, to have more affinity with what we're calling in, right? So again, this month, it's like we may be, overcoming our opponent. And every time we do that, every time we overcome our egoic, urge to want to be reactive, it's like we are shifting our destiny to a greater, better unfolding, right? So it's like it takes time and space a little bit to catch up, and catch up with the ever-changing plot. Yes, so energy detox is coming up. Addiction, it's time to juggle. Oh, some of the other straightforward oracle cards that came up when I was when I pulled this when I was shuffling for the Devil card, it was like, you're being delusional, it's time to get over this. That came up again. It's just that they kept coming out in big clumps, and so I wanted a more clear card. But I think that the general message coming through with this was, be careful not to delude yourself and believe what you want to believe, because you're going back into something that's easy or attractive or tempting, right? Overcome, right? Nothing can be had there. It's like it's not gonna be what you want. It's like you're creating something in your mind that's not going to be the practical reality, or like seeing through the illusion of the opponent, that what the opponent is presenting to you. And then the Queen of Wands, it's like overcoming the opponent and doing it like looking good. Like, it just reminds me of like in every chick flick when the chick says something and she tells her boss, or like she, overcomes the thing, or she, tells the guy what she should have all along, and it's like, RESPECT, I know what you mean to me. And then it's like, huh. And then she walks away and like closes the door, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, wow, look at her, she's so cool. It's like that moment. Except don't do that. All that haughty stuff. It's like those movies are so, like in real life, it would just be like disgusting. We're trying to learn not to pop off, but we are overcoming our inner opponent and our adversary, right? And even getting over some things in our outer world, right? Maybe you needed to get over a breakup or something like that, and it's just been keeping you stuck for a while. And it's like now it's like you're finally seeing through it all. Now you're moving on, and you're like so charismatic, you have so much energy, and it's like you're juggling all these things, and you're able to do like follow your dreams and be social and, you know, keep up your household, and you're just doing everything and making it look good and having a good time and being charming and being the life of the party and being like warm and sexy and attractive and charismatic. Like that's Queen of Wands energy, whether you're a male or a female. And so our clarity cards underneath were energy detox. So again, continuing on that theme from last month about purging our negativity in order to like get ourselves like closer to aligning with our blessing, right? Like sometimes something wants to come in, but we're not in vibrational resonance with that thing. So we need to purge some of our negativity quickly. So energy detoxing, literally, I think that there's a lot of underlying messages this month about having like shiny object syndrome, and that was part of last month's, it was a daily card today. It was like going down rabbit holes essentially, but we need to focus, and we need to focus our energy and set healthy boundaries this month. There is going to be an urge to want to be everywhere and be everything to everyone and to be the social butterfly and to do it all and be it all, but we're running the risk of burning out. And we need to reserve our energy because we're just at the beginning of our journey and we need to expand. So we need to draw in our resources in order to rebuild our strength and our energy and our inspiration. So we need to like take time for some quiet time as well. You know, the Emperor here, like getting control of your kingdoms, you know, taking care of business. The addiction card came up under the Emperor. So if you are finding that you're trying to control everything and you're, you know, getting into addictive or hypervigilant or compulsive behaviors, maybe take note of that, and now that you are aware of it, like try to resolve that behavior, because the more you overcome this addiction, again, the more that light is transmuted into miracle juice. Like it, you know, it puts you in the miracle zone. So overcoming addictions this month, you know, and again, like cleansing, detoxing, you know, if you like to do any fasts, there is the Passover Seder where we abstain from leavened bread, right? And because yeast is the ego, this is the expanding part. The Israelites they had to take their bread out before it had time to rise, meaning they had to make a move. They had to follow divine guidance before the ego had time to get in the way, you know, with fears and doubts. So act quickly. Energy detox, overcoming addiction, cleansing your diet, cleansing your habits. You know, just be careful not to be just drinking too much and like just eating like bad foods and things, like just keeping your vessel cleansed. And it's time to juggle, task juggling, multiple jobs or clients, side hustles, balancing life and work. So there's going to be a lot to juggle. Queen of Wands is also a task juggler. Like she can do it all. It's like she is the person who has the full-time job and the family and is the person who's the head of the chair committee of this and that and was like planning the party. And when you get to the party, it's like it's as if Martha Stewart had like planned everything and made all the cute little crafts and everything for it. So it's like there's task juggling at hand. And there's a lot to do, and probably a lot to do towards our goals to make them a reality, right? To get out of the fantasy world and to make things real, to take things to take action on things and make things a reality. So that's going to take a lot of focus, a lot of energy, and a lot of time and resources. So that's why we can't be expending it out everywhere, all over the place. We need to be intentional about where we're spending our time and not letting the devil get the better of us and on our little shoulder. Like, hey, let's go out to the bar. Let's go have fun. Let's shirk our responsibilities one more day. Let's go see what that hottie toddy over there is talking about. Like, you know, be aware. Be aware and be intentional. And then it's time to get over this and move on. So again, this is like right here, this is this energy to me. It's Queen of Wands defeating the opponent, overcoming her opponent, getting over whatever it is and moving on. Maybe it's getting over a breakup and moving on. Maybe it's getting over, you know, something that you thought was going to be a certain way and it never was. And it's like, you got to get over it, move on. Like, you know, you've learned from this and grown from it. Holding on will keep you in a rut and cause senseless suffering. It's time to cast this off and move forward, light of heart and foot. So again, energy detox, time to let go and move on. And then this card came up a couple of times too, like in big clumps that just kept falling out, but it's find a teacher. So again, this keeps coming up for the 2024 predictions. So this might be the year, if you've been thinking about taking a course, I know I have, like there are a few that I'm just like, do I want to try to take, you know, one geared towards general marketing? Like I've always wanted to do B school, and I'm like, does Marie Forleo still do B school? Like I thought, like, if that's going to be like a good foundation, or should I just go straight to like a trade course? Like, should I take copywriting courses? Like what, you know, like which course should I focus on? Am I looking in deeper into like just like literally going deeper in tarot and astrology? Like what kind of teacher? So are you thinking, have you been thinking about taking a course this year? You know, maybe a course for me would be on Amazon publishing. That's a goal that I have, you know, to like publish this deck. So it's like, might as well make it the most successful way you can, right? If you're thinking about investing in yourself, that's a wise investment to make, to really get out there and be like, okay, if there's a business that you want to do, like nowadays, I'm not even sure that college is necessary anymore. I mean, only for certain things, and to have a broadening experience, yeah, it's great. But if you are not, you know, in a situation where you have the luxury of going to college, don't sweat it, because you can probably figure out a business that you are passionate about, that you can find an online course about doing that very thing by someone who's done it and has been successful, and you can repeat that, right? And then forever you know how to do that. And then if you get sick of that in a few years, then you can, you know, take another course and you know, expand on your business or pivot, right? But you know, this might be time to find a teacher, a coach in a different area. You know, with the romantic thing with the kiss, the Nine of Cups, the Emperor, like, you know, being hard-headed or like unbendable, not flexible, and then like with the Devil card here and getting over it, like I feel like there may be like some kind of relationship issue going on this month, and probably romantically inclined. It feels like that. And it feels like a complex situation that is going to test your patterns and test your embodiment of your new awakened consciousness. So, you know, approach that with care, but also if you can find like relationship teachers and coaches to help you, you know, build good communication skills, right? Learn your attachment style and, you know, help you look into your codependent tendencies so you can rise above those and have a new cycle that's not going to be the same thing playing out again and again and again. You know, finding a teacher may help you spot someone with unhealthy psychological tendencies that may prove to be a very bad partner that you wouldn't have known had you not, you know, given yourself some time to get educated on, you know, things that you may not have given a lot of thought to, right? And then that's kind of made you vulnerable because you're too trusting and you know, weren't aware of certain like red flags and behavior. So just an example. Okay, and so our animal helpers for this month, we had lion and moth pop out together, which is interesting because in the last reading I had, when I drew our animal helper, it was vulture, but moth and lion came out in the same order with the vulture. And I was like, I just need one card. So I took the one on top, which was vulture. But it's interesting because I shuffled those back into the deck separately and they came out together again in the same order. So because of that, I'm definitely going to read this message. Now, in addition to Kim Kranz's interpretations on these, the lion I felt reminds me of this Leo full moon energy that we're having now, which I'm filming this in January. And so again, it's this resurgence of fire and authority and leadership. Like it's mirroring and echoing this emperor energy. It's like, okay, we are proud, we are like in charge, we are like the master of our domain, we're the top of the food chain. It feels like we're really empowered and we're poised for success, right? It doesn't feel like you can get much more evolved, in the animal kingdom than the lion, the king of the jungle. So the lion is here. The lion has, well, here, I'll just read it. And then the moth, before I go into the reading of the moth, in some I believe Ted Andrews' Animals Speak, moths, particularly Luna moths, I think have ties into death and rebirth and like sexual energy, sexual rebirth, sexual renewal, trusting your nose about sexual instincts. But yeah, this like the Luna moth reminds me a lot of Scorpio. So Scorpio energy. Also the Devil card here, not just like things are materializing and the opponent, but also Capricornian energy may have some come into play this month, or you may be dealing with Capricorns. Okay, so lion, patient, regal, a complete master. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. A lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof. Yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their words and actions. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. So some key things really in there. It's that self-transformation, that master of self-transformation. Remember, the more that we do that self-transformation, it's like the more we can align ourselves with a higher destiny where our greater fulfillment is being played out. Respected by all but known intimately by few can seem closed off and hard to access. But that's not really true. And so there, again, back to the kiss, there could be something like a close relationship that comes into the forefront this month. And then they do not waste energy or resources. Okay, stay focused. Yes, and then regal and patient, right? Like regal does not run around in a panic, in desperation. Regal sits and waits to be helped, to be taken care of. Like a royal person waits to be served. So we're waiting upon like the guidance of the universe to be like, all right, now, right? This is your moment. When in balance, the epitome of peace and strength. When out of balance, withdrawn and too serious. To bring into balance, daily meditation and friendship. Again, that friendship. Okay. Moth, impulsive, hasty, and wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. That attracted to easy solutions, that is an example of like instant gratification, right? The Satan, the opponent, is always wanting to make the thing that's like instant gratification seem like the most attractive option. And that's rarely the option that's going to take you to the best ending. This can lead to unfinished, okay, hold on, wait. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others, is jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. So what can you finish this month that maybe you are close to completion? Something that's doable, something that's finishable. You know, it may not even be the most important thing on your plate, but sometimes it's so satisfying if you have like a day where you can like dedicate to like a whole bunch of little projects that have been piling up and you get them all done and you're like, yes, that's amazing. And then the next day, everybody that you know calls you and asks you for a favor and you're like, I just cleared my things to do list. Just don't answer the phone ever again. Okay, and so our goddess helper for the month is Ayin, adaptability. So again, this month is really asking us to be adaptable, to be flexible to change, right? To be willing to move forward. We have Gula for healing. So there's going to be like a lot of healing and renewal, rejuvenation this month. There's going to be emotional and internal healing, but I feel like there's also like an ask here to like rest and let your body rejuvenate and heal. I mean, even you might not even be ailing to heal, but like sometimes just in order to avoid inflammation, like we need to recover between, you know, rigorous activity, right? So allow for healing and breathing and rhythm this month. Don't burn yourself out. I think I wanted to read Ayin. There was something that she had to say that I thought was relevant. When you've set intentions for how your life could be different, better, fuller, juicier, prosperous, creative, more meaningful, etc., adaptability is the power you'll need to rely on. The old familiar you, the one who's used to your comfort zone, is now invited to dance in an uncharted territory. The questions to ask yourself as you step into the unknown are, what do I need to become in order to experience this life I desire? What in me needs to shift so that I can welcome this amazing abundance? You may want to pull an extra card. Okay, that's not. No, you have everything that you need right now. You are aligned with the Celtic shapeshifter goddess Ayin, who could move effortlessly between our world and the world of the Fae. Her power of adaptability is sparkling within you. Magic is afoot. Sometimes you find yourself unable to respond to life's challenges because you are holding on too tightly to an image of how things should be. It's hard to adapt to changing circumstances when you are so connected to familiar conditions or an old identity. Or you may be too attached to the form of your desired outcome. And when things go in a different direction, you resist. Have no fear. Instead, love these changes. Be open and curious. Call on the goddess Ayin to embody her power. Remember, she could effortlessly shift from one form to another and move between worlds without consequence. Trust that whatever you're bumping up against will dissolve through your willingness to simply be with what is and allow magic to reveal itself. Regal, patient, waiting for the universe to present that opportunity for you to jump and bounce. Okay, and then our winged messenger, our bird messenger friend, is Crane. I am Crane, the moment of true awareness. I am lasting peace. I am still water. I am unparalleled focus. I can stand alone longer than anyone, waiting for destiny to unfold at my feet. I never miss a ripple in the water, nor do I dwell on those that have already passed. You must also learn to allow your future to find you in the perfect moment. Be at peace now. Be silent. Your mind is too busy. Your focus too shifty. Your spirit like a restless dream. Gather your visions and retreat, giving them time to restore. Allow the chaos around you to be what it needs to be without pulling you into its vortex. I implore you to be still. Find your highest mountain. Climb your tallest plateau. Wait for the ripple to come to you, then make your move. You are active awareness. You are present in the moment. You are mindful. You are Crane. And you are likely in the midst of eclipse season. All right, y'all. It looks like April could be really, really great, but we need to trust Creator, surrender our timeline, and be ready to make our move when it presents. Opportunity will present, but we can't get bent out of shape wanting it to be exactly what and when and how we think it should be. All right, y'all. Ciao.